Major depressive disorder is the leading cause of disability worldwide in terms of total years lost due to disability, and it's associated with high rates of mortality. About 30% of patients with major depression fail to achieve remission despite treatment with multiple antidepressants and are considered to have treatment-resistant depression. In Latin America South, about 200,000 people are affected by TRD, which leads to a reduction in life expectancy of 10 years, a higher cost of hospitalization, and loss of labor productivity compared to MDD. Today, we face a distressing situation in which patients are hopeless and overwhelmed. After several appointments with psychiatrists and multiple lines of treatment, they currently fail to achieve the remission of the symptoms of this devastating disease. This situation not only hinders their ability to accomplish an optimal quality of life, but also affects their families negatively. Spravato arrives as a new model of treatment stepping out of the box to break the paradigm. This new paradigm embraces many critical and diverse stakeholders which challenge us to think about how to articulate their interactions in order to work collaboratively with a patient-centered focus. Furthermore, the institutional model that Spravato requires makes us answer new interrogations. Excellent sites will be located in the main cities of Argentina and Chile, where most of the population is concentrated and whose geographical distances are extremely wide, defying all traditional distribution models. This challenges us to think of a model that could supply these main locations. It is critical to coordinate all these stakeholders and establish the optimum framework so that patients can receive this innovative treatment and benefit from it with a straightforward process. The critical stakeholders are the patient, the caregiver, the payer, the institution, the psychiatrist, the distributor, the patient support program, the MOH, the scientific societies, the KOLs. But being a trailblazer requires hard work, and we are prepared to show which our strategy to keep up with the good work is. To ensure the patient receives this innovative treatment, we have designed an accurate and agile model connecting all key stakeholders in a coordinated scheme aligned with Spravato's requirements, company policies, and local regulations. This way, we have focused on understanding which were the psychiatrist's needs at their consulting rooms or as a part of an institution, the requirements for payers' approval, the essential need of PSP support, and the diverse profiles of Spravato Excellence Site. Our target is to deliver a wide-ranging but straightforward model that responds quickly to patients' unmet needs and also addresses all key stakeholders' best interests. Esketamine is a drug categorized within the psychotropics group, so local regulation compelled doctors to prescribe it using an official prescription form. To access this official form, a face-to-face process that takes a lot of time and struggle is required, accumulating more administrative burden for HCPs. To overcome these difficulties, we designed the following action plan. Within MSL fieldwork, we are reminding HCPs the need to use this official form. We are setting up the discussion with local KOLs to develop a new simplified process to request the official form. We are working to have a PSP representative who could help the HCP and assist in this request. Once the patient has got his prescription, it is time to enroll him to the PSP so he can receive support and guidance on how to get Spravato. Among additional benefits, the PSP will help him to know which excellent sites he could get to. For that, the patient needs to get his payer approval. That's why we work on mapping each payer approval process to nourish the PSP with information that helps the patient during this journey. At the same time, we are working with payers to have the most adequate procedures, simplifying purchase orders and logistics of Spravato. As advised by the PSP, the patient will be able to present the right paperwork, and now it is time to schedule the appointment. Once again, the PSP is eager to help. Our patient support program will be the link that ensures coordination between patients, institutions, and payers, aiming to give the patient the best support for their treatment, providing a good experience during this journey. For this, it will be key to keep an open communication channel with excellent sites to guarantee appointment scheduling and reminders, transportation support in case of necessity, delivery support. Nevertheless, there are still some pain points to overcome during this journey. The geographical extension and population concentration in certain regions, as well as excellent site concentration. The induction phase requires intensive administration with dose adjustment, dose management according to adverse effects and effectiveness. The frequency of application is very high, therefore the patient may need to reschedule an appointment within the same week. A delay in the delivery of Spravato may cause an availability of medication when patient arrives at excellent site, which will discourage adherence. How to ensure that Spravato excellent sites have product availability on a timely manner and guarantee treatment continuity. CVT Latin America South shaped a groundbreaking distribution model in pro of the patient. For which tough scenarios we needed to be prepared. Excellent sites will be located in the main cities of Argentina and Chile, where most of the population is concentrated and whose geographical distances are extremely wide. How can we guarantee adequate supply to each one? Once the appointment is scheduled, the patient will go to the institution with a prescription. But what happens if the HCP looks for the medicine and realizes at that moment there is not enough stock? What happens if Spravato delivery has trouble getting to the excellent site on time? What should we do? Concerned about the patient, our tactic will be to deploy a supply strategy for which we divided excellent sites into two groups, big institutions and small institutions. At big institutions, we promote two different supply strategies, static model and dynamic model. On one hand, the static model consists of having Spravato on consignment managed by the excellent site itself. In this case, the institution will be in charge of purchasing more units as the need arises according to the inflow of patients. The purchasing department will oversee and restock. On the other hand, the dynamic model requires the excellent site to have a certain number of Spravato's units on consignment previously agreed upon. Weekly or bi-weekly, this stock will be supervised by drugstore representative in charge of goods on consignment and restock the missing units immediately. The target is to keep the stock always with the same volume. There is a different strategy for small institutions. We call it the drop-by-drop model. This proposal doesn't involve any stock. Therefore, it will require great coordination efforts between PSP, patient, payer, and drugstore to ensure that the medication arrives before the scheduled appointment. We trust we developed the best distribution model for the benefit of the patient in a simple and agile way to accelerate the early use and adoption for this innovative model to treat treatment-resistant depression patients. A new era begins with Spravato.